What's up guys, it's the Razor here, and today, as my first tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to create your very own vote mass system in the VK server. Alright, so let's get started. I'll break the video down by steps. We'll be creating our sets of map choices, create a variable to give us our random maps, and lastly, output the maps in a message pickup. But this can be optional. Alright, so creating our sets of maps. The amount of variable pickups can vary the amount of combinations. In this tutorial, we'll be picking 3 maps from a list of 5. Alright, we want to store those 3 choices in 3 separate variables. But first, we need to find how many combinations we can generate. To make life easier, I recommend going to this website. The link is in the description. This will generate the combination for us. You enter and name these values to your choices. For this tutorial, we'll be using letters. Since we want to withdraw 3 choices from the 5 maps, set the combination size to 3 and then press calculate. If you scroll down, there's a list of combinations. The amount of combinations, which were 10, times 3, because we wanted only 3 choices to output, which is our combination size, equals to 30 variable pickups. We'll be using this website as a reference to our variable pickups. Alright, so with our list to the side, we'll start creating those variable pickups, and I'll show you how. Our first combination is ABC, so we'll create 3 variable pickups for each letter, or your preferred choices. I will start typing in advar pickup. You want to name your variable something like choice 1 or C1 for short, because we'll be using this variable later on. We're going to plug in our first value from our first combination. Our second value, make sure the variables are different, and our third one. So that's our first combination right off the bat. We're going to do the second combination, which is ABD. Remember, use the same variables as you used from these pickups. This will be A, this will be B, and this will be D. So that's our second combination. You want to repeat the same steps for all the combinations. In total, it should be 30 variable pickups for me. Yours might be different. Alright, so we'll get back to you after I'm done creating all the pickups. Alright guys, we're back. As you can see in front of me, I have all 30 variable pickups created. Before we move on, I suggest you skim through all the pickups, make sure you don't have any duplicates, or make sure that these rows have different variable names, like C1, C2, and C3. You gotta make sure those are different. Alright, so once you have done that and you're positive that you're good to go, next thing we'll be doing is going to wrap these row of variable pickups into a trigger pickup, and I'll explain why later on in the video. So you want to use the second version of trigger pickup, and you want to wrap these 3 into the trigger pickup. So it'll be 95, 96, 97. You can find the index by walking through the pickup in edit mode, and you'll see it'll say index. There we go. You want to repeat the same exact thing to all the rows. Alright, so I'll get back to you once I've done to all of the rows of variable pickups. Alright guys, as you can see, I've created all 10 trigger pickups. And if you've already done this, then you're ready to move on to the next step, and that is creating our variable to give us that random map. You know, sort of like a random map generator, but you're pulling out 3 choices from it. Alright, so let's get started on that. Alright, so before we create a variable pickup, we need to get the trigger pickup indexes for starting from the first one to the last one. So mine is 125, last one should be 134. So once you have the numbers, we can go create our variable. Now, this variable, what it's going to do is it will return a random number between 125 and 134. And I'll explain you why we need it. So we're going to create a variable pickup. I type in advar pickup, name it something like random pickup ID, or for short our pickup ID, and we're using the random function. To type that, you want to use the $, random underscore 125, because that's our first number, and 134, and you want to end it with $. There we go. That should return a random number between 125 and 134. So if you want to test this, you want to turn off edit mode, type in myprov vars, should be empty. So if I walk through it, I get 125. I walk through it again. 134. One more time. 132. Alright, so we know that that's working. Now the next step is where we put in conditions on these trigger pickups. So we're going to say if the condition is met, if it's true, it will invoke this row of variable pickups. We do the exact same thing for all of them, right? So our condition, by typing change pickup condition, we're going to put in the variable index, the pickup index, and you can put in the condition. So we're going to type in pickup index. If pickup index is equal to var our pickup ID, there we go. It will, if that's true, it'll invoke these three variable pickups, and those will contain variables C1, C2, and C3. And we'll do the same thing for all of them. Now, unfortunately, I've already done them before this video. As you can see, they're already there. They should look exactly how it should look like in your screen. Now then, the next step is we're gonna wrap these trigger pickups with this variable pickup here. But one thing to take note is that we cannot have a mix of this variable pickup with these trigger pickups if we're using something like add trigger pickup 3. As you can see, it says we need to trigger a list of indexes of add trigger pickup. Before we start filming the chat, this video was filmed in patch 5.6.2. Y'all gonna say, I don't have access to add trigger pickup 3. Yes, only event staff members can create the system. However, I was told in the next patch that there's a possibility regular players will have the ability to wrap trigger pickups into a trigger pickup. So I suggest you come back here once the patch is out. So we cannot have a mix of it. As I said right there, cannot trigger other pickups. So to bypass this, what you want to do is make this variable pickup into a trigger pickup. To do that, you simply just type in add trigger pickup 2 and just type in the index. It will allow you to type in one index, just if you didn't know. So now that you have that, now add trigger pickup 3 will accept all these variables. So type in add trigger pickup 3, and before you start inputting, make sure this is called before you put in all these. So this one should be 136, and then we can start by putting these variables. So it should be 125 to 134. And there we have it. Now then, if you want to test this out, we can, but I'd rather demonstrate you using a message pickup, which will be the next step. But it can be completely optional, but either way, I'll be demonstrating you how to do it. To output the variables, type in add message pickup. I'll use add message pickup all for this example. I'm going to type in maps, and then we're going to say we're going to do is reference those variables C1, C2, C2, C3. We're going to be using them. So var C1, comma, var C2, comma, and last but not least, var C3. And this depends on how you name the variable. If you name it something differently, just do the exact same thing. There we go. So if we trigger this pickup right here, should be this one. If we trigger this and we go here, it gave us ADE. It's our first one. I'm gonna make this a little more closer. If I know what pickup is that, 128, 138. There we go. One, go through it again. ABE. One more time. Oop, I stepped on a pickup by accident. ABD. I'm gonna do it again because I stepped on it. BCE. ABD. We got ABD again. One more time. ADE. And there you have it, guys. That's how you do a vote mapping system. I hope y'all guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, comment, favorite, subscribe, and let me know how these tutorials turned out to be. I'm doing my very best to improve them video by video, so your feedback is very appreciated. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take care.